their bones picked over and recycled or sold for scrap. And then there are the whispers of the otherworldly wreckage of a strange airship, and corpses whisked away in the nighttime. The story passed from one generation to the next.
We get a lot of tourist guys that come in here and take pictures. They want to know about the hangar, you know, if it's true or not. Well, it's Hangar 84. That's where they did the autopsy on the alien, you know.
Now a morgue for old airplane parts, some say Hangar 84 was a different kind of morgue in 1947. They say it's the place where the U.S. military brought the bodies of visitors from outer space after the discovery of a mysterious debris site out in the desert. The military issued a press release suggesting that it was the remains of a flying disc. The news flashed around the world. 2 days later, the military changed its story, saying that the debris was actually a high-altitude weather balloon. But rumors persist about alien corpses and a cover-up. One of the aliens is said to have been found alive. And in this workshop, autopsies were supposedly performed on the less fortunate victims of the crash. And then, in 1995, this film was released, supposedly showing an autopsy being conducted on one of the aliens. All of it fueling the conspiracy stories and provoking fear and suspicion about other beings from other places.
Roswell happened. I knew a lot of the people that were involved. I grew up here.
Julie Schuster is executive director of the Roswell UFO Museum and Research Center. It was her father, a U.S. Air Force lieutenant, who issued the original Flying Disc press release.
I told people all along my daddy didn't lie. If he said it happened, it happened.
Roswell conspiracy believers say the U.S. military spirited away the debris and the alien corpses, perhaps to keep the technology out of the hands of its enemies. One thing is certain, the Roswell conspiracy story is good for business.
On average now, the museum hosts about 153,000 people a year from across the world.
Sure, there's got to be somebody out there trying to find us, right?
You know, you leave here wondering, was it real, wasn't it real?
In fact, 1 in 4 Americans and 1 in 5 Canadians believe that aliens have visited our planet.
The space aliens are the perfect metaphor for the other. They come here, we don't know what they have in store for us. They maybe have great power. They probe us in terrible places. And it's every primordial fear is wrapped up in the idea of the aliens.
The theory is the U.S. government transported those alien corpses and the wreckage away from Roswell, New Mexico, and later hid them out here in a remote corner of the Nevada desert. Every year, hundreds of people now make the long trek down what's become known as the extraterrestrial highway. The attraction? Area 51, a top-secret military testing facility. Security is tight. Armed guards patrol the access roads in this forbidding moonscape. Some conspiracists say that the moon landing was faked.
Eagle, we got you now. It's looking good, over.
That the one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind moment
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
was filmed somewhere out here in the desert and then shown on network TV to an unsuspecting public. The closest town to Area 51 is Rachel, Nevada. And that makes it a magnet for UFO believers, conspiracy theorists, and the just plain curious.
I don't know, it just sounded fun and something unique.
Today, it's the honeymoon destination for Leif and Catherine from Sandy Springs, Georgia.
We got married Saturday night, just like 30 hours ago, and decided to come to Area 51 together.
It is very isolated, that's for sure.
Last night we wore little tinfoil hats and sat outside and kind of looked at the stars, hoping to see something. Nothing. It was too cold.
Not being able to see the UFOs or the aliens doesn't dissuade the believers, according to Michael Shermer. He's challenged UFO conspiracists to produce the evidence.
When I say, well, where's the bodies? Where's the spacecraft? Where's your evidence for this? Oh, no, they don't want us to see this. That's how we know it's true. They've hidden it away. Well, lo and behold, I saw this argument used by the Bush administration when they made the case for invading Iraq with the weapons of mass destruction. In we go, no weapons of mass destruction. Where are they? We know that they're there because they moved them. That's how we know. They moved them away because they knew we were coming, and therefore that's how we know they had them. Like, wait a minute, what? No. If you make a positive claim, you have to have positive evidence in support of it, not negative evidence that the evidence is there but hidden.
For Leif and many others, there is much more hidden out there. They wonder whether those stories are true, whether aliens are living among us.
I've also heard conspiracy theories that aliens have always been here, that we are the genetic offspring of aliens, and I've heard theories that aliens are future humans coming back from the future to the past.
One theory suggests that alien visitors have given their technology to the American government in exchange for the right to abduct U.S. citizens for science experiments. And some theorists believe that the Queen and other world leaders are actually reptiles from another planet.
Really? They have either come from another star system or they have been living in tunnels and caverns under the earth and have emerged up to the surface and are slowly moving to take over the world.
They look like us, but apparently these lizards are really running the show. Experts warn that for some conspiracy believers, that kind of thinking betrays a troubling fear of newcomers and strangers.
As humorous as that as a belief system can be, it also helps prepare us to think about the stranger, the other, the immigrant, the marginalized person, the minority religious or ethnic group as being the other, the stranger, and the alien.
And in the wrong hands, that kind of fear presents a real danger.
In an unhealthy society, conspiracy thinking becomes a mass movement based on fear, anxiety, and anger, and it ends up targeting scapegoats.
When you get these two things going on, this level of fear and this powerful belief that these others are not quite human beings, these dangerous others, then it's really all set up for bloodshed.
Plot to do us harm. How do we distinguish between a genuine threat and dangerous paranoia?
The more elements, the more complex it gets, the less likely it is to be true.
They're innocent people, and I've been fighting them for 13 years, and I'll never stop while I'm drawing breath!
In the battle between Alex Jones and the establishment,
Here we go, guys!
One thing is certain.
They need to know that I'm not their slave. They need to know I'm committed 100%, and I'm never going to back down. And that spirit of liberty, that spirit of 1776, it is the answer to the spirit of 1984.
These are worldviews that are so strongly implanted, in which those who believe in them are so heavily invested that it becomes virtually impossible to sway them. They see themselves as part of the forces of virtue, and therefore anyone who challenges them must, by definition, be consorting with the enemy.
Can you imagine that Princess Diana told him this was going to happen, and it did in fact happen the way she said, and he lost his son as a result of it? Can you imagine he would ever leave it alone? No.
So in the face of such unshakable beliefs, how do you uncover the truth?
I guess my advice is to start off being skeptical. Just assume that people's claims are not true until proven otherwise.
Case in point, how likely is it that someone could put bombs in the World Trade Center and then make it look like those airplanes were responsible for the destruction of the towers, and then convince the hundreds involved in the plot to keep that secret?
The grander conspiracy theory, the more elements that have to be involved, the more people, the less likely it is to be true. Simply for two reasons. One, people are incompetent, and it's hard for them to pull things off. And two, people can't keep their mouths shut, and we eventually find out about it.
Your New World Order will fail!
I'm worried about the corrosive effect these theories have on trust, on social functioning. It's important to have criticism, it's important to have a wide range of different views and perspectives in society. It's right to hold institutions and governments to account, but it's not right to tar them all with the same brush, to assume that everyone's up to no good. It's just not the way the world is.
I am the people, so if I come out and point out corruption and lies and things I don't agree with, that's not anti-government. I am the government.
Chip Berlay warns that some conspiracy theorists threaten democracy because, in their worldview, mainstream politicians are just part of the conspiracy.
I am the republic.
With a conspiracy theory, why would you compromise with evil plotters? Why would you compromise with agents of Satan? Why would you compromise with the secret Illuminati or the Jewish bankers? Because they're out to get us. So the mere fact of compromise itself becomes intolerable in that construct.
In the age of suspicion, in a world where human beings are born to conspire, David Livingston Smith says we need to reason and think critically when others are trying to persuade us to believe their version of the truth.
Now, it's only through being able to reason that we have any hope of counteracting this powerful emotional appeal and preventing ourselves from sliding into barbarity, as has happened so many times in history. Conspiracy theories are not going to go away. Irrational conspiracy theories are not going to go away. And they're never going to cease having an emotional appeal to us.
If you missed any of Conspiracy Rising, you'll find plenty more grist for the mill where else? On the net at cbc.ca/DocZone. Thanks for watching.